Is going on YouTube? Happy Father's Day to everybody. Brendan from Market Makers, your home for Wyckoff and Advanced Fibonacci TA. Guys, we talked about this yesterday. We got to hold that 618. I told you I anticipated it would hold. That is at 18,230. We wicked below it, came back up. Again, this is because the Russell is holding the 618. The NASDAQ is holding the 0.5. Record sell-offs in equities, the worst 11 weeks in the Dow Jones since the Great Depression. 5 of the last 7 trading days, barring Friday, was the worst amount of selling in the equity space overall. Almost 90% down days, 5 of the last 7 trading days since 1928. Obviously, what happened in 1929? A catastrophic equities crash, right? But these markets are so oversold, I do anticipate they want to hold a bottom and they want to rally. And guys, this video, as always, is brought to you by SimpleFX, where you can trade commodities, equities, Forex, and cryptos as well. Okay, they have a handful of cryptos there, the big ones, and check them out. The tutorial guide for how to use their platform is in the video description, and you can get a $5,000 deposit bonus that is real. It is instant. You do not have to roll it over or earn it. And of course, if you want to trade all the altcoins and Bitcoin, definitely check out BITGET. Link in the video description. Private tournament starts in July on BITGET for $5,000. 5 people will win $1,000. And of course, we'll be announcing those details here as well. Our Telegram is blowing up with interest, guys. Hundreds of people. Remember, this is going to be a closed registration process. The first wave of people, if you are interested, go ahead and join now. Then we're going to run with it, and then we will expand it again for the broader audience. But go ahead and talk to Lee. Click the Telegram link in the video description. Got all of that out of the way, and let's go ahead and get into this. Guys, just remember, everything I say is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Definitely, if you do trade, understand it involves a lot of risk and you can lose everything. Never trade with more than you are willing to lose. That's what I tell everybody all the time. The weekly time frame, not going to spend any time here. We're going to get down to the 1 hour time frame because that's where all the action's happening. But you can see the 618. We are reflecting up off of it, so this is good. Not a lot of structure here to show you. Again, takes a week to get a weekly candle, right? Let's go ahead to the daily. Again, not a lot of structure, but you can see we are holding the 18,230 very, very cleanly. Let's just look at our indicators while we're here. Still blown out in volatility. RSX still oversold. Again, a lagging time frame, a larger time frame, okay? So we'll go ahead and jump off of the daily. Let's go ahead and fast forward to the 8 hour. 8 hour, you can see this even better. We are holding the 18,230 beautifully, starting to build a structure. We'll see what it looks like on the 4 hour. I need to see some type of Wyckoff structure. I need to see a harmonic structure, advanced Fibonacci pattern. I need to see something to show me what direction we could be moving, okay? Volume, we did have this big selling candle, as you can see. RSX just slightly above the oversold line. Still expanded on volatility. Jump to the 4 hour. 4 hour time frame. Let's look at our indicators here. We'll go to a clean 4 hour chart and look at this 4 hour time frame. You can see your volume is decreasing, which is good. You need it to tighten up, but look at your volatility. So you need this channel to get really tight, still very expanded. RSX is starting to move more up to the median line, which is good. Starting to make a basing process here on the 4 hour. But let's look at this on a clean chart. Clean chart of a 4 hour time frame, okay? So you can see here we had our previous Wyckoff trading range. We talked about this yesterday. You made your reverse cut pattern, back testing your Wyckoff support or resistance, Wyckoff line as resistance, and then you sold off, and now you're trying to accumulate in a lower range. I don't like a couple of things here on the 4 hour. You're selling climax. You don't have any wick. You usually want to see at least 30% wick, just like this, okay? You want to see a big demand wick. We didn't really get that here. So again, this is tenuous. But, you know, it makes sense because Bitcoin could still roll down and pop back up again. But let's look at this on the 1 hour and see what we got. Because you got more candles. You're starting to base here. But let's see what we have on the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, again, we went ahead and threw this in Wyckoff so you could see this. And you can see a couple different things happening here. Again, we did have this reverse cut pattern take into account here, take into effect, and sold off, right? Now, from an advanced Fibonacci pattern structure, I have my own pattern I created called the Chameleon. There's a bunch of different harmonic patterns. There's a harmonic subset of pattern trading. X5 patterns. So if you look at this, this is a pattern right here. This is my chameleon pattern. And let me draw the next one, which we have right here that is just formed. And you can see this as well. These are measurements. These are fib measurements of price waves, okay? So price moves in waves, and you're measuring these ratios. And we do teach this in the room, guys. We do have a harmonic specialist in the room as well as part of the admin team. And with my chameleon pattern, and go ahead and measure this, and you can see exactly where it hit on the trend-based fib, the 1618. You see that? You got your price descension from this. This is pattern trading, guys. This is advanced Fibonacci patterns. And then down here, we can see this as well. I can measure this out. Hit the 1 fib and start it to retrace. You see that? Beautiful. So hit the 1 fib, start to retrace. This is the 1 hour time frame. So let's go ahead and get rid of this so we can look at this in Wyckoff as well. You can see how accurate these patterns can be. They're quite fun and amazing to trade with. Let me zoom this in a little bit so we can see our structure here. So we have that double bottom structure, also an X5 pattern, my chameleon pattern that I created. And then you can look at this also in Wyckoff, okay? So what we have here is we have our selling climax candle. Down here, we'll use that wick, and then we'll put this up here for our automatic reaction. And within this structure, you can also see we have our low, we have our higher low. Remember, law of 3. The market moves in 3s, hence ABC correction, trend-based fib. Gann was very well aware of this. 3 falling peaks, 3 rising valleys, which is what this is, okay? You have a low, you have a peak. You have a higher low, you have a higher peak. Again, it's a 3 rising valleys pattern. This is a lot of things, but it's on the 1 hour time frame. Remember, smaller time frames, not a lot of power, but these are tradable. And we need to see, look what you're making here. Do you see what you're making here? We talk about it ad nauseum on this station. But what you're doing is you're trying to make your cup pattern. You came up, you hit that retracement level off my trend-based fib here, also my X5 pattern. You see how you can marry these techniques together? Your 1 fib. So you hit retracement. Now you need to hold and look exactly where it retraced to. I mean, this is the beauty of advanced Fibonacci trading, okay? This is why I marry this in with my Wyckoff. It is so important. I think it's the ultimate trading method. You fell right back to the 618, okay? The 618, the most commonly retraced 2 fib. So you see that? You fell to the 618. You're trying to reverse. And what are you doing when you're reversing, guys? You're making the cup. See, you're making your cup pattern. You might have candles go sideways. And again, on a type of breakout, if you were assuming this could go up, right? But again, I'm not looking necessarily to trade until I see what the equities do. The markets are closed on Monday, but these are tradable type events. If bullish momentum can sustain in Bitcoin, you could use a trigger, basically breaking above the 1 fib, 19,866. If you can come on top of this, hold it, you may even get a pullback on top of it and then explode upwards, okay? But just keep in mind, on small time frames, this is going against primary trend because primary trend is down, okay? But I do believe you're going to see the markets want to base and they want to rally. Now, they may be basing all next week, which just means small fluctuations, maybe less than 1%, 1.5% up and down every day. We'll see how that goes as we advance next week into the equities market. And we got to see if Bitcoin can hold its support. Again, 1 hour structures, these will be quicker trades in and out. You're looking at your larger patterns, at least I am, at the 4 hour time frame, 8 hour time frame daily for more swing type trades, okay? But these are types of trades that if you do get this structure, the 3 rising valleys, if you do get a pullback on top of the 1 fib, you could be moving up and you could hit some targets, okay? And those targets, obviously your 1618 at 21K is up here as well. Just another way to view the market, guys. Lots of different ways you can do your trading. And let's go ahead and look at our indicators here on the 1 hour time frame. Volume is down left to right, which is what you want to see. However, volatility is very much expanded. This will start to contract, and look how tight this can get. Okay, this can get very tight. This will start to contract as this starts to accumulate here in this higher trading range, right? And you can see your RSX did pop up approaching the oversold line, not quite there. This will start waving back down to the median line if price just goes sideways and really starts to print your cup pattern. Markets move in patterns, guys. I know it sounds like I repeat myself, but this is the whole point of pattern trading. This is a point of understanding Wyckoff. If you marry these two things together, use fibs as well for your key support and resistance levels. What's beautiful about using fibs is you get specific levels, right? You get the 18,000, like on the weekly time frame here, or the daily time frame, you get 18,2030 as a specific number. You don't get this. Lots of YouTubers do this, right? You see this all the time. Just a gigantic box, and they're like, see, somewhere in here, this is support. This whole thing's support. This gives you a specific number that you need to hold, and if you don't hold it, you will understand the bias is a potential reversal to move down to that next fib after the 618. okay? So that's what you need to understand. And it's such a key way to trade. It's very useful. It's been very profitable for myself and for many other people that do understand these advanced methods of trading. Let's look at the cloud and some things here as well and see what else we got going on in the 1 hour time frame. Let's see. I want to see my zigzag channel on the 1 hour. See where that zigzag line's at. I trade with a lot of zigzags. I find them very useful if it wants to populate, which it does not for some reason. The zigzag indicator does not seem to work very well. It's from Lux. It doesn't seem to work very well on Bitcoin. It works great on equities. Half the time it doesn't work on my Bitcoin charts. I don't know why. It's a Coinbase chart. Maybe I'll have to try another one. Let's look at the cloud then. So as well as targets, remember how we talk about you got to flip your long-term moving averages. Your 200 and 233 are up here at 28K on the 4 hour time frame, right? So this is the 4 hour. We'll go look back at the 1 hour, but this is what you're looking like now for the cloud. As you can see on the 4 hour time frame, everything is still descending. I'm drawing the outlines. I know it's hard to see on YouTube. So you could just be accumulating here, which is kind of what you need to do to get all of your indicators back to restricted or back to flat, and then try to make a move. And the longer you accumulate, remember, this cloud will start to tuck in, right? Beautiful thing. Let's go back to that 1 hour. So 1 hour time frame. Let's look at the cloud here. This is what I want to see. See, you're making this cup. This cup's going to be a beautiful thing. Might be posting something here in the room shortly. Let's go ahead and look at this. Let's see. Does the zigzag work on the 1 hour here? No. I literally just used this. That's funny. All right. So it might be the setting. I'm going to go ahead and try to length. Change this to 50. There we go. For some reason, on the smaller time frames, you got to shorten the setting. That's the zigzag channels from Lux. It gives you a zigzag channel. I like it. So anyways, I trade with a lot of zigzags. You can see you're hitting the top of the bottom of the zigzag line now. It's resistance, right? So this is where you're at. This is your extremities in the zigzag channel just above it. And then this would be your median line going back through the trend of the 50 candles. And you're below it. Again, it's going to help you form this cup because you can just keep hitting it, roll back down, bring these indicators back down, and have this nice, beautiful cup pattern that forms here on the 1 hour time frame. And let's go ahead and look at that problem solving live on my recording. Brilliant, right? Let's go ahead and look at Ichi. That's what we want to see here on the 1 hour. And I got to get this line off. It's just going to drive me nuts. All right, so the cloud here. The cloud, as you can see, this is what we're talking about. You're going to see this expand onto the larger time frames as you accumulate. You have accumulation, you have price waves, you have buying and selling, and because of that, you initially have a lot of resistance. Your Kumo cloud, big red resistance cloud, okay? You see this? You initially have a lot of resistance, but as you accumulate, as price moves up and this 3 rising valleys pattern, you can see what's happening. Look at the cloud, getting a lot thinner. It starts to thin out, and this is what happens. You start thinning out your resistance as you accumulate, and at some point you can build a structure to make a move up, okay? Again, 1 hour time frame. Don't get your hopes super up, but I think we will see a basing process in this short trading week coming up. Monday, tomorrow, the equities markets are closed, but I'll still be putting out a Bitcoin video. We'll check on the progress of some of these things. Guys, consider joining these rooms that we have. Consider joining the Telegram if you do want trade signals, and definitely smash up the like button for me. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, and enjoy your Father's Day. Have a fantastic rest of the weekend, everybody. Happy trading.